Hey guys, I'm Neil. How are you guys doing? Got all food and you feeling good? I am what is called a marketing producer slash editor, and that's a really nice title for a person who does just about everything. And that's one of the fundamental things I remember learning here in broadcast is that you've got to learn how to do everything. I mean, you might want to be on camera, you might want to direct, you might want to do audio and stuff like that, but if you can learn how to do a little bit of everything, you will be so much more versatile in the stuff that you know and where you're going to be able to get a job and get a career. Because I started out in a completely different path, wanting to do IT and computers and technology, and then I really got into cameras and creative and stuff like that, and it's just been fun, and all my jobs have been different. I'll give you a little bit about my background. I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I was fortunate enough in high school that we had what was called an AV club. We didn't have anything like this. You guys have cameras and switchers and projectors and all this fun stuff, and we had like a closet, and it was our job to wheel around. I don't know if you know what VHS is, but they were old school tape machines that would go to classrooms, and we'd set that up, and then we'd also tape different events and sporting events and other things like that that would go on. And we had equipment that was donated to us. It was beaten, it was old, it was older than you could imagine. And we had a lot of fun with it, and I learned a lot about video editing and storytelling, and that really helped me when I got to college because it gave me a big leg up there. I went to a community college in Milwaukee, similar to like ARC is here. It was a community college, and had a good leg up from everything I learned in high school about editing, shooting, working with people, working with clients and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun, and I was able to take a hobby that I did in high school and make a career out of it. And I mean, the best thing now is that I don't work a day in my life. I go to work at PBS Channel 6, and I put together commercials, I put together sponsorship spots, I put together promos, videos, I mean, you name it. I do everything that airs in between the shows. All the stuff you fast forward through during the breaks because you don't want to watch it, that's the stuff that I make. So, but that's what also pays the bills, so that's really kind of a fun aspect there. And yeah, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to learn about public service announcements and stuff like that. A public service announcement it's a type of commercial. You want to get a message across, and you need to find a good way to do that, and you need to have a strong message. And it could be funny, it could be serious. There's a lot of stuff on bullying, there's a lot of stuff on texting. When I was growing up, it was all like say no to drugs and all that kind of stuff, and you don't see that as much anymore because it's not a huge issue like it was back in 1998 or whenever I went to high school. So it was a lot of, and then they're effective campaigns and they work. And I know a lot of you guys do SIVA videos where you make public service announcements and stuff like that. And, the commercial aspect is fun. I like it, it's fun because it's like 30 seconds, it's 60 seconds. I'm not putting together a half hour or an hour show or any of that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's just, it's neat and it's really easy, and at the end of the day you're done and you have to go through revisions and figure out what the client wants and doesn't want and go from there. But a little bit of my history before I worked for KVIE Public Television, I went to school in Milwaukee at a technical college, and that technical college was affiliated with Milwaukee Public Television, and I got thrown into the fire there where they knew I knew stuff about video and editing and graphics, and they were just like, here. I was lucky enough to work at a PBS station in college where they literally threw me into the fire, not day one, it was like day 4. And I was able to work with editors who have been doing stuff for like 30 years and learn their craft, and I was able to do graphics, I was able to go out on shoots. We did this, I think about it now, and it seems like the dorkiest thing ever. We did this show about trains and railroads. It was called Tracks Ahead, and it was a show where we would go and hop on a train and talk to train engineers and talk to people that did all these model layouts and stuff. And it has like this really niche audience, but it was this subculture of people that just really are fascinated with trains, and we made it a show that like anyone could watch, and it was really interesting. And I'm not a big fan of trains or whatever, but some people are, and they're really passionate about it. Or their parents grew up working on the railroads or things like that. And I was able to work on that show, which was nationally distributed, and I think even internationally distributed. And the fact that I was doing work that people in other lands were seeing was really, really cool and a lot of fun. And it was able to get me my first real job in TV broadcast. I was doing graphics for the morning news for CBS television in Milwaukee, and I started, my shift started at 2 o'clock in the morning, so I had to get up at midnight and get into work by 3 so we could put on a newscast by 5 o'clock in the morning. And this was in Wisconsin where, I mean, it's cold today, but it's not like -40 below zero cold. And that's what I dealt with the morning, and I'd get up every morning and go and do these newscasts and put the graphics on and do all this work in the community and come home at 11 and have breakfast for the third time. And I don't know why, but I loved the job, and I had such a passion for it, and it was so fun. And yeah, so I did that for about 6 years, and then I got a really great job offer working for the Utah Jazz NBA team. I am not an NBA fan at all. I'm not a huge fan of the Kings. I'm not a huge fan of the Milwaukee Bucks or the Salt Lake City Utah Jazz, but it was a lot of fun working with a team and a lot of fun promoting a team, and I got to travel with the team and do a lot of all the graphics that you see come up during the sportscast with all the statistics and stuff like that. I did that live during all the broadcast, and because I didn't care if the team won or lost. I didn't get emotional when they were like down by 2 and it was buzzer beater and then there was a foul and all this stuff. I was just a rock back there ready to put in graphics, and I couldn't even tell you who won or lost at the end of the day. It was just input in and input out. And I think that really helped me excel in what I was doing there. And then in the off season, I got to do a lot of the graphics and promotional materials. I got to travel with the mascot, which was cool and weird at the same time because he was one of those guys where you're not supposed to know who they are, and they kind of live in, he was a performer with like the circus before he worked for the NBA. And like literally he would suit up in his hotel room, put the helmet on, and just be on anytime he was out in the public eye. And I mean, they do that at Disney when they do all the presentations and stuff like there. But he was always on character, and he could be walking down the hotel and some kid would look at him and be like, "Hey, you're Jazz Bear," and that's awesome. And so I got to hang out with him, and he was a great guy. And I learned a lot about the dynamics of working for a team, not only an NBA team, but a team of people that traveled around. And I'm not saying we were like family, but we were like a very dysfunctional family. But we were a good, close group of people that we'd work together, we'd yell at each other, we'd scream, and then we'd have dinner together and everything would be fine, and we'd get together and just have a good time and then travel to the next city. And it was fun for probably about 6 years, and then I realized this is gonna burn me out. And I was lucky enough to land a job at public television here in Sacramento where there's no snow, there's no winter really, and the weather was nicer and it's a little bit slower paced, and it was one of those things where I get to perfect my craft and make it look a little bit better and enjoy my job a little bit more than just the intensity of sports and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go over here and get the keynote going, and I'm gonna show you guys a couple of public service announcements. So basically, a public service announcement is a commercial. You wanna choose your topic. Pick a subject that's important to you, and make sure it's something you can visualize, because TV is a visual medium. You've got cameras, you've got audio equipment. You don't want to do something you can't visualize, and have one idea and keep it simple, because you don't want to, you've got 30 seconds to get your message across. You don't want to have 5 or 6 different topics in there. Just keep it simple. Keep it don't text, don't drink and drive, don't do drugs, don't smoke. Don't make it a huge deal. Do research. People love statistics in these things, and Google things, go to Wikipedia, get your sources, go to a library and look up to see, is this something that is an actual issue, or should we even bother covering it? Or, one thing is to consider the audience that you want to reach. are you reaching everyone? Do you want to reach kindergartners? Do you want to reach, older people? Do you want to reach people your age? Because you talk to everyone different. If I'm talking to a grade school class, I'm going to talk different. If I'm talking to parents and stuff, I'm going to, talk different. But it's good to keep a conversation going, even though it's a one-way conversation with a public service announcement. But you want to talk to people like I'm talking now. You don't want to sound robotic. You don't want to be spouting facts to them. You just want to piece it together. You need something that grabs your audience's attention and wakes them up. It could be humor. Humor's really hard to do. It's funny in your mind when you're piecing it together, and your buddies all think it's funny, and then you put it on camera, and you're just like, oh, okay, it's all right. And then you show it to someone else, and they're like, I don't get it. So humor's really hard to do, but if you can do it well, and you've really got to practice with that. Script things out, write them down. Do a storyboard, and even if you can't draw and you're drawing stick figures, just do a storyboard just to get an idea of what you want this announcement or this commercial to look like. And get together with your friends and film your footage, edit your PSA, and then when you're done, show it to people. Don't just push it out there and hope it'll work. Show it to people, get their feedback, and take criticism, and then change things if you need to. If you don't get what's going on, or if they don't get what's going on, maybe it's like, oh, okay, maybe that actor didn't work and we want to use a different actor, or maybe we leave it really open-ended, and it's like kind of like, well, if we put a phone number or something there at the end, or a call to action, then we could actually, get people's attention to take action and go from there. I'm going to show you guys a couple of public service announcements here. They run the gamut of, some are funny, some are serious, some are really just like weird and stuff like that. A lot of them are kind of like a little bit of a dark side for them, because we want to save lives, we want to prevent illness and different things, and it's so some of them are kind of like a little bit darker. These are a little bit more uplifting, but they're kind of more relevant and stuff like that. So
you wouldn't think the cafeteria would be a scary place.
There are 5.9 million kids in the U.S. living with food allergies.
It happens to me on the school bus.
And a third of kids with food allergies are bullied because of it. Right now, we're working on a cure for food allergies. Until then, there is a cure for food allergy bullying. You. Go to foodallergy.org to teach your kid about the seriousness of food allergies.
If I'm not at school, I can't get bullied.
Food allergy bullying, it's not a joke.
All right, so that's a real serious one about food allergies, but it's like, I remember, in high school and grade school where, some kid would be allergic to peanuts, and someone would like run around with a peanut butter sandwich, and I'm like, he can't help it. And it's something where it's like, food allergies are a very serious thing today, and this was something that they wanted to get out there, where it's like, why is there a stigma with people that have food allergies, or, that wear glasses? I'm like, I can't help that my vision's, bad. But for some reason, people are, I've grown up with that, and I own it. I like glasses, I make them chunky, and that's my thing, and it's fine. But yeah, like this ad, they have got a food allergy website that they want to kind of beat that stigma of, these kids don't want to go to school because they're going to get bullied or made fun of because of what they're, something they can't even control. So I thought that was a really neat ad. This next one might be briefly loud, so I'm going to try to...
No, I don't know, though. I'm scared. I mean, you're so...
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
So that one, I'm not saying that one's a little darker, but it's definitely a lot more serious of a message. And the cool thing I liked about that one, obviously not the accident, but the fact that you brought the human interest into it by bringing people out of the car, onto the street, and then having that conversation that would happen in a split second. And I think it really gets across that human message of, like, okay, I'm texting, I'm driving, whoa, all right, I'm weaving back. But it's like, you don't know who you're going to hit and what you're going to do. And yeah, you probably pay attention if you knew that it was a mother and family and kids in that car. But I think, I hope in 5 years we don't have to have things like this, because it's not even an issue anymore. And it goes from there. So, and then here's another one, a little bit more uplifting, but yet a kind of a positive, serious message that that kids are dealing with. So,
Only 10% of us get enough daily exercise.
And that number is dropping.
Nearly 30% of us are overweight or obese.
As a result, we now have a shorter life expectancy than our parents.
But give us the right start in sports, and we'll never stop.
Learn how at activeforlife.ca.
all right, so that one was a little bit of a roller coaster there with, not an emotional roller coaster, but it was kind of, it was up and down. You see a picture of kids, our life expectancy or their life expectancy is less than what their parents are, and that's serious. And you have a shot of a kid who closes his eyes, and another shot of kids where it's like kind of portraying that this is death and this is serious. But then as soon as that hits you, they kind of bounce back where it's like, we can do something about this. We can change this. Get out there and exercise and do all this stuff. And that's a PSA that's currently running in Canada right now. And yeah, it's a real thing where it's like we're all stuck behind our phones and our computers and everything, and get out there and experience the world and go do stuff. So what we're going to do today, real quick, because I've probably only got about 20 minutes or so, is that we're going to make a public service announcement, and I'm going to need 5 volunteers. I need someone who's really, really, really tall. Who's tall? You're really tall? All right, come up here. And I need someone who is really, really, really short. Who's short? You right there. And then come around the stage, just watch yourself walking up. And all right, tall person. Whoa, you are tall, all right. So she's gonna be our boom operator for the day. And what's your name?
Isabel.
Isabel, and your name?
Jackson.
Jackson. And they are gonna be, Jackson, you've got an important job. All right, what we're gonna do today, we're gonna make this real easy, is we've got cue cards for people to read off of. So I need 3 actors. You right there in the black jacket, or sorry, the beige, whatever. Everything looks like black jackets to me right now. I need you, sir. You're way too excited about this. Do you like Funyuns? All right, then come on up if you like Funyuns. And all right, you in the green there, you're basically here. So, all right, so, and then I need a couple of, and then, yeah, I think we're good. So you come over here, and you, sir, and where's my Funyuns guy? So, all right, cool. And then you're gonna be a background actor here for this. So I need you to hang out with these guys here. What we're gonna do is I need you 3 to stand over here. And then you kind of stand next to them. And then you, sir, this is gonna be real fun. And there is food. Do you like regular or flamin' hot? Regular, good call. All right. So you can keep them, yeah, but you gotta eat them. So what we're gonna do real quick is actually you, sir, over there. Do you want to be a camera operator for me? I need you to not drop this. So hold on to it with this handle here, and then hold that there. Hold this handle, like put your hand here. And I'm going to turn this on. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to follow some rules here of what we've got going on. These are just some tips for shooting better videos. Use these tips when you guys are doing your SIVA videos and stuff like that, because they're going to help. Scout out a location. We're here on a stage. That's what we're going to do. Write out your script. We've got our awesome cue card guy here who's going to help us with that. use a tripod. I'm gonna break that rule today here just because it's over in the corner and I gotta do this quick. Record your audio with the microphone. We got one right there. Work with existing lights or bring your own. We got an awesome stage with a ton of lights here, so we're good. And you know what? This is key for when you guys are doing stuff. You've got your friends out there, you're doing a shoot with Siva, you're making it awesome. Like, do a couple more takes, because like you'll do it once and be like, oh cool, we nailed it. And it's like, do a couple more, because you're gonna look at it in a couple days and be like, all right, let's try this over, let's get a new thing going on there. So what we're gonna do is I need you to stand, let's go back a little bit here in the light. And you come over here with the camera. I need my boom operator, because we gotta get good audio with this. And what we're gonna do, all right, and then point the camera at him. And I just gotta change the settings here real quick so we can actually see this. All right, what we're gonna do, and what's your name, camera guy? What's your name?
Preston.
All right, this is Preston. Your name? Judah. And I think your guys' names?
I'm Chris.
Chris?
Mia.
And Mia. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Can we get a round of applause for all these guys coming up here to volunteer? All right, the first thing we're going to do, open that bag of Funyuns. Yeah. All right, so camera operator, you feeling good here? Yeah. So I need you to do, we're going to stand a little bit closer and actually, no, a little bit further back. Let me zoom out a little bit. And we're recording here. So boom operator, I need you to come in here. We're not going to do this. We're not going to hit him in the head. But we're going to keep this slightly out of frame so you can pick up the audio real well. And all right, we're going to tilt that down. And what I want you to do is just eat Funyuns for about 45 seconds. Just eat Funyuns. This is real compelling. All right, so everyone here, we got to be quiet because we want to pick up the crunching of these Funyuns. So, that's like a 16-ounce bag, man. You gotta go quick. All right, and we're good here with the Funyuns. So awesome, thank you. You can hang out here on the side for us, and yeah, if you want to share, feel free. And what we're gonna do now, I need my cue card guy. And my boom operator. I need boom operator. Cue card, you're gonna be on this side. Boom operator, you're gonna be on that side. Camera guy, I'm gonna need you here in the middle. And you guys are gonna be, I need you over here. I'm like, you guys already had lunch, you don't need Funyuns. All right, and then you come over here. And what you guys are gonna do is you are my actors. So, actually, you know what? We're gonna switch places. You guys go over here, and the camera go over here. And the reason I'm doing this is because they're gonna be in better light, so. All right, so turn around. And then I need you to hold up the cue cards for me. And actor 1, that's gonna be you. Actor 2 or actress 2. So you're gonna read everything in blue, you're gonna read everything in red. And what we're gonna do, let me give you, you know what? We're gonna fake a phone because we're acting. So you've got a phone here, and you're looking down at it, and you look up. So it's all right, we're good. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna zoom out a little bit. All right, and just make sure to keep them both in frame, okay? All right, can you guys get a little closer together, and then you step in a little bit closer. All right, and then cue card guy, they gotta read you, so you hold your cue cards like right underneath the lens, okay? And then boom operator, I gotta get you to go up and in with your incredible height and go from there. So cool, perfect. So we're recording, and what we're gonna do is you're gonna say that line first, and you're gonna say this line second, and when he's done saying his line, you're gonna look up and say your line. Yep, and you guys will be looking right into that lens the whole time. So, all right, cool. Quiet on the set. We're gonna go in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Have you seen Chet today?
No, what's up with him?
All right, perfect. Now we're gonna go to the next scene, and you're both gonna be staring into the camera. That's the tiniest mic. You can't tell me you're getting tired doing this. All right, actor one, and we're gonna do staring, we're gonna do this line here and that line. You guys are just gonna ping pong back and forth. So in 3, 2, 1.
He's eating Funyuns again. Really? That guy needs some help.
All right, now we're gonna do scene 3 and a little bit louder, all right? In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, he is on his 5th bag today, and it isn't even lunch yet. We gotta do something about this.
All right, perfect. And let's do this line.
If we don't, he is going to smell like onions in gym class later. All right, this is enough. Let's go.
All right, perfect. All right, and now Funyun guy, come over here. We're gonna let's go over here in this quarter. So Funyun guy, I need you standing there and hold your bag out like you've got it open. And then we're gonna practice this scene. I got a whole nother bag to share with you guys later. So, and then what you guys are gonna do is you're gonna walk into frame. He's gonna say, cue card, can we get the last line there? Yeah, you're gonna scream that line. So you're gonna walk in and say, hey Chet, we're concerned about your health. And then about when he says you're gonna yell stop and then just grab this bag. Try not to spill Funyuns, but just.
So I'm gonna grab it like.
Yep. And you have to yell stop. You gotta yell it. You gotta yell it. Like deafening loud. Stop. All right, we're gonna do this. All right, so you guys walk out of frame, and then we're gonna walk back into frame. And all right, we're still recording. Let me zoom that out a bit. All right, so we're rolling. So all right, keep the camera up, keep them all in frame. And you guys walk into frame. Let's get our cue cards going so they know what to say. All right, in 3, 2, 1, walk in, guys.
Hey Chet, we were concerned about your
Stop!
All right, let's do it one more time. That was awesome. Thank you. We're gonna do it one more time, but we're gonna do it even louder, okay? That stop was good. But
As loud as you can.
all right, as loud as you can, both you guys.
Here, it's so loud.
All right, in.
Do louder.
All right, we're gonna do this in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey Chet, we were concerned about your health.
Stop!
Perfect, thank you guys. All right, give these guys a round of applause. Awesome, thank you. And boom operator, thank you. All right, thank you guys. So we kind of threw that together real quick. We got a fun picture up here on the screen. If you guys want to know what editing used to be back in the day, in 1974, you guys are looking at a picture of what used to be an editing system. Does anyone there know what a plugin is? A plugin, have you guys used like Photoshop or Premiere and used a plugin? You in the back, you know what a plugin is. Yeah, exactly, like an add-on. Do you see there's 4 monitors on the right up here, and right underneath it, there's literal cables that you would plug in to do different effects in video back in the day. And that's where the name of the plugin came from, was something like that. We've got a video editing deck, a console. She's holding a manual on how to learn how to edit and stuff like that. And there's a tape-to-tape audio deck in the back there, and it's amazing that you can do all this on your phone now. So does anyone here have any questions or anything? I got to take a quick second to copy some footage over. So does anyone have any questions about what we did up here, or public service announcements or anything like that? All right, yeah, you in the front there. Good question. What program do I use? I get asked this question a lot of what's the best editing program? Is it Avid? Is it Premiere? Is it, Final Cut? And personally, I use Premiere. I'm comfortable with it. But the best editor out there is you. Editing is a tool. Editing systems, they're like a hammer. If you know how to use a hammer, you can use a sledgehammer. You can use a little ball peen hammer. You can do whatever you need to do to get the final product that you want out there. And it's just the editing systems are going to change. I've been doing this for longer than I can want to remember. And I started on Premiere like 15 years ago when it was on its infancy, before Final Cut Pro was even a thing. And then I transitioned over into doing stuff in Final Cut Pro, and then I'm back on Premiere. And there's this really cool application right here called Adobe Premiere Rush, which is literally gonna revolutionize and change the editing industry, because I can do everything on my phone and I can collaborate in the cloud. So if you're working with friends on a project and you all wanna work at the same time on a project on your phones, on your tablets and laptops, Adobe Premiere Rush is, I mean, that's probably what I'm gonna be using next year, and it's gonna be, you know, game-changing for the industry, that I can just whip out a phone and start editing and do all this fun stuff with it. So that's a great question about the editor, but personally I like Premiere because it's easy and it's reasonable, but you know, at the end of the day, you're dragging around rectangles on a screen, so it's just a matter of, you know, what you want to do there. So all right, what we're gonna do is, this is Premiere here. This is Premiere Pro, Creative Cloud. I don't even know what version I'm running here, but all your editors are gonna look pretty much the same. You're gonna have a place where you put your footage. You're gonna have a timeline here on the bottom where you edit stuff and put down music and you put down video. And you know, you're gonna have your main program monitor here, and you're gonna drag footage in. And you know, things that are gonna get a lot easier are just collaboration. The thing that, you know, I've never liked about edit systems is that if I want to share a project with someone and work on it with them, I've got to put it on a thumb drive, I've got to put it on a hard drive, I've got to walk it over to them, or if I do put it online, it's going to take forever for them to download everything. But now that Adobe is coming out with Rush and Creative Cloud, it's all, you're going to shoot with cameras, it's going to go up to the cloud, the footage is going to be there, and everyone's going to be able to edit and piece it together. And yeah, so it's going to be game changing, and it's going to make it so easy for you guys to make, you know, YouTube content and stuff like that. So, and another thing I could, you know, if I can stress when you're doing projects is, like, you know, file management. It's like, I recorded these files, they're called P1188520. That means nothing. You should rename it to something like, you know, like, oh, this is guy eating Funyuns, or, and you know, it makes it easier for other people to deal with it and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do here is drag this footage in, and I'm gonna find a couple of clips of our buddy here eating Funyuns. All right, so we got that clip there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just drag that over, just over to the side of the timeline here, because we're gonna use that later. And then now we need to piece together our main clips. These are gonna be our dialogue clips.
He's eating Funyuns again.
Really? That guy needs some help.
Have you seen Chet today?
Nah, what's up with him?
All right, so here's our first clip. I'm gonna drop that on the timeline. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our guy Chet over here and put that clip right next to it. And then we're gonna take our second clip, drag it there. And then we're just for fun, we're just gonna keep using the same clip because I think it's a funny clip.
If we don't, he is going to smell like onions in gym class later.
All right, this is enough. Let's go.
All right. So we're gonna put that clip there. And then our last clip. Go.
Hey Chet, we were concerned about your health.
Stop!
All right. So, all right, I'm gonna take these last clips. And I haven't looked at this, you haven't seen it, we've thrown it together. Let's hope we did it right. And let's hope you guys get a laugh or we learn something from it. So, all right, here we go.
Have you seen Chet today?
Nah, what's up with him?
He's eating Funyuns again.
Really? That guy needs some help.
If we don't, he is going to smell like onions in gym class later.
All right, this is enough. Let's go.
Hey, Chet, we were concerned about your health. Stop!
Friends don't let friends eat Funyuns.
Call 1-800-FUNIONS or visit www.nofunyuns.com for more information.
All right, so it's not terrible. Give yourself, guys, a round of applause. All right, I got about a minute here that I'm going to blaze through stuff here at the end. You guys saw the timeline there. I wanted to share this with you. Have any of you guys ever seen Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones. This is a scene from Game of Thrones. It's 18 minutes long. And I don't know, if you look way up at the top there and you go all the way, you count like down to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At the top, that's video. All this stuff at the bottom is audio. And it's really cool that you have editors that come in and do all this stuff. And this is only 18 minutes. And the fact that we had a few clips and we were piecing it together, and this is what professional editors in Hollywood do, and it's really, really cool, and they're really, really talented. And I believe this is even done in Premiere as well. So this is just giving you the grasp of the amount of stuff that goes into making something that's cinematic and stuff like that. Other than that, here are some resources that I've used before. CreativeCow.net is a great resource for video. Premiere Gal, she's a great blogger and video editor out of LA, and she does a lot of good work there. DSLRvideoshooter.com is another website. Video Copilot, if you want to do cool effects and stuff in After Effects, they're a great resource. NoFilmSchool.com is a great resource when you have a $0 budget for doing things and stuff like that. So again, here's what I use for my equipment: a GH5, a Mac, Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, Adobe Rush. If anyone has any questions, feel free to come up and see me over here. Everyone else is piling in, but again, a big round of applause for all the guys that handed stuff out. And yeah, if you have any questions, come see me. We'll get some information going, and enjoy your time here at CE.